muted, ready to go. Welcome on this Friday night, March 1st, 2024, 1st of March. And you guys, next Saturday, we turn the clocks. Spring forward, fall back. So it will be, right now, it will be 10. Really nice. It will be light out to at least 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. Which already it's almost light till 6 p.m. already. So anyway, we're just going to play some Bible trivia tonight. As always on Friday night, we do open chat and Bible trivia. And what I do is, usually I just start playing by myself because maybe it takes a little bit for people to come in and join. So I usually just start out, I usually start the game, just start it off, and if somebody wants to join in, they can join in. And I hope nobody's afraid to like join in and answer because it might be wrong. I get them wrong too. You can see I get them wrong sometimes too. I'm sitting here playing in front of everybody, and when I get it wrong, everybody sees we get it wrong. So, anyway, but you can feel free to just play at home on your own. But you can't get paid like that. Actually, you can't even get paid if you do play on here. So, nobody gets paid. Otherwise, I'd be pretty wealthy right now, as we play every Friday. I have to turn the fan back on because it is really hot in here. It's not been hot in here for a long time because but it's been a beautiful day out. And then on top of it already being warm in here, I've been running the dryer and it has heated it up quite a bit in here. So let me hit that fan back on. It's an old metal fan, but I like it because it's amazing. It's amazing how powerful those old ones get with the metal blades. I don't like the new plastic ones with the plastic blades. Actually, I bought one. I think it was only like $10 or $20 at Walmart or something. One plastic white ones with the plastic blades. The thing tips over and it busted one of the fins off, one of the blades. A chunk out of it, and it was all wobbly, and then I taped it back on. It lasted for a while, and then it flung back off. So yeah, I don't like cheap ones. If you're at a garage sale or a thrift shop and you see one with a metal blade, I would buy that fan because they last forever, and there's nothing like a metal blade to put out the wind. Blowing my tablecloth already. It's as low as it'll get, but anyway, feels good. Feels like summer. Feels like spring, which it will be in a couple more weeks. Officially, calendar will say so. I'm gonna tell you what. This time last year, the snow was so high I could not see out my windows. So, especially my kitchen window. So I had to go out and take a shovel and carve like a hole so I could see out my window. That's how deep it was last year. I got pictures of it too. So funny. It was up to my gutters on my house. As a matter of fact, it was even higher than that. And the dogs were running right on the roof. Caleb started out and the rest followed him. And they were running on my roof because the snow was right up to the roof. Now I have an earth home, so it really wasn't like 10. But this year we got none, so awesome. I went, I did all my blankets. I went to a laundromat today. I love going to laundromat. I don't know what about it I like, but I like it. And there was this guy. They always have a bulletin board where you can put like your businesses, or puppies for sale or whatever. little notices for the community, and the snowplow guy isn't getting any business. Anyway, poor snowplow guy. He's not getting any business this year. Not once. Not once was it enough to plow, and that it's never happened ever in Minnesota history. And not that I know. I've been around a long time. Way long time. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. We're going to play Bible Trivia, also known as Bible Jeopardy. It's more like Bible Jeopardy because even though it is trivia, it's in a Jeopardy platform, recognizable as the Jeopardy show on TV. What if they ever had? Yeah, they probably did. I bet Jeopardy had Bible categories. Anyway, so that's the plan, Stan, for tonight is to do the Bible trivia. Open chat, not a whole lot. What else? Anything else? It was just such a beautiful day. Well, hey, John, shalom to you too. How are you enjoying this winter? I said, a snowplow guy hasn't even plowed once. Not even once. I don't think that's ever happened in this snowy Minnesota. Oh, speaking of snowy, it might have been my cat. I don't know, but something came flying off my wall a little bit ago. Just like Snowy used to do. He used to knock stuff off under the floor, and this thing got knocked on the floor. This winter has been mild, yeah. Yeah, we don't have any snow. We've had grass pretty much the whole winter, which is crazy. I wish it was like this every year. Although, I'm going to tell you, you know what I heard? I heard northern California is getting snow. Is that for real? Northern California is getting snow while we are, basking in sunshine. Yeah, let me see if I can pull that up. Is California getting snow? I think Northern California is. Oh yeah, blizzard is forecast to bring life-threatening conditions to California. Look at that. We don't have any snow here. It's bizarro land. Oh, look at that. Donner Pass. Uh-oh. I want to stay out of... Blockbuster blizzard slamming California with 12 feet of snow possible. 100 miles an hour wind. Yeah, Donner's Pass. Yeah, that one... Yeah. Stretch of I-80 is shut down as monster blizzard dumps snow on mountains. Huh. Alright, California. So who knew, huh? California's in a whiteout snowstorm. Of course, that's Northern California. I know somebody who's going to Palm Springs, and she goes every year, and Palm Springs is going to be in the 60s and 70s, so... This is just Northern California. Alright, there you go. Although, last year when she went to Palm Springs, it was freezing cold. Like, out of the ordinary. Not normally for this time of year. Alright, so who wants to play Bible trivia, huh? Test your Bible knowledge. Test your trivia knowledge. All right. Well, first things first is we pick a category. Hold on a second. I need to pull it a little closer so I can see. All right. First category. Old Testament 2 set pass. Exodus and wilderness wandering, maybe. Geography of the Old Testament. I don't know about that. Gospel facts, miscellaneous from Matthew to John. Here's what I don't like about these gospel facts, Matthew, for the Gospels. You know what they always pick? How many baskets of fish did feeding the 5,000? I don't know. It was fish, it was bread for 5,000, it was fish and it was bread for 4,000. You know, stuff like that's easy to get mixed up. And it's probably the same story, but one guy's telling it different. You know why I think it's the same story? Here's something that just dawned on me. Why it's the same story. It's just like one person thought it was 5,000 with, you know, I don't know, 7 fish or whatever. Anyway, each person's bringing their own. It's the same story. It could not have happened twice. Do you know why? Because the first time it happens, they're like, "Oh, everybody's hungry and we have no food. Whatever shall we do?" And Jesus is like, "Here, we got a couple fish and some bread. Let's do this." And then so they feeds everybody and shows everybody. And then not only that, but they had even extra leftover. And they throw in the extra leftover just so you go, well, yeah, somebody probably was still hungry. No, they want to make sure that you know that nobody was still hungry. Otherwise, they would not throw in leftovers. Yeah, because when you have leftovers, it means everybody's eating all they can possibly eat. Otherwise, people say, well, maybe they didn't all get it. No, that's why they threw in the part about the leftovers. So you don't even have to ask. But okay, so that's the first story. And then the second story, I think the first time it's 5,000. The second time it's 4,000. So the second time it's even less, okay? Less. And they just did this. They just fed everybody. Jesus just showed them how this happened with 5,000. Well, then and they make it sound like it's happening again in a different place. But this time it's 4,000 people. And then I'm going to tell you why you know this is a repeat. Because why would the disciples say, Jesus, there's so many people. Let's make them go home because we don't know what to do. Why would they say that? If they just faced this situation, actually not even as bad yesterday or whatever. Listen, I was with Jesus and he just fed 5,000 people with a couple of loaves of bread and some fish. And there was some left over. And then, and that's on a Monday. And then on Friday, we go and now it's 4,000 people. Am I going to ask Jesus, oh, Jesus, we only got a couple loaves of bread and a couple fish. However are we going to feed them? You know what I mean? Why would you ask like you've never seen this happen before? That just shows you that it's a repeat story. Because in both incidences, the disciples have no idea how they're going to get out of this mess. And so once it happens, don't you think the next time it happens, they'd already know that, oh, let's just do what we did last time. I mean, let's just multiply the you know what I mean? I ask again. That's one of many. Anyway, Exodus in the wilderness wanting, geography of the Old Testament. Gospel facts, miscellaneous from Matthew to John. But anyway, there's going to be a fish question in there somewhere. Word meanings. I'm not even sure what that means. Word meanings. I don't know about that. And timeline. I'm not sure about the timeline. Timeline. I don't know about that. Actually, I'm not sure if I like any of these categories, actually. Let me try a new game. If it's worse, then I'll back up and go to this one. I don't like those categories. Old Testament, Genesis to Ruth. That might be alright. Books of the Bible. Letters, epistles, that's Paul's writings. Old Testament quotes, who said what to who. Objects and reasons. The objects and reasons are kind of weird. I've only seen this category maybe once. These categories. Well, anyway, I'm going to start with for $200. I could start with Old Testament. Books of the Bible. I don't know. Reasons. Okay, I don't even know what this is, but we're going to go with the reasons for 200, Alex. I'm not even sure what that is. We're just going to find out. Question for 200 points. See how the dollars turns into points all of a sudden? According to the book of Galatians, how does someone become a child of God? Through trial and error, through good works, through following rituals and customs, through faith in Jesus Christ. I guess faith in Jesus Christ, through trial. It should be all of them. I think to be real, I think it's all of them. This is Christianity in a nutshell. Trial and error. Everybody, listen. Every human being is a trial and error. Okay, that's called life. Trial and error. You're trying. Good works. Well, that's good. Following rituals and customs. Well, yeah, they kind of do. Remember, you got to drink the blood and eat the flesh. That's pretty much a ritual. Anyway, through faith in Jesus Christ. I don't know. Could it be that? Yes, ding, 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 ding. It is through faith in Jesus Christ. Oh, you foolish Galatians, who has bewitched you? It's you, Paul. You're the one that bewitched us. Alright. Alright. Reasons for 400. I don't know if I like this category, but I'm going to keep going. 400, Alex. Hit us. 1 John promises God will hear our prayers if we do this. Ask humbly, ask sincerely, ask according to his will, ask 70 times 7. It's going to be according to his will. Well, Alex, if we ask humbly, no, you're still not going to get it. How about if we ask sincerely? Will that work? No. How about if we ask 70 times 7? No, that's for forgiveness. What are you talking about? All right, how about if we ask according to his will? Ding, 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 ding. Yes, it is correct, according to his will. Whatever we ask of according to his will, he's sure to give it to us, or whatever they say. I can just hear it now. Anyway. You know, first, second, third John, I used to just love those pistol little letters there, but, anyway. Easy listening for something like that. Anyway. It was just that easy, huh? It's not so easy, first, second John, and third. Alright, reasons for 600. Oh, look at those lines that came up. I never saw that before. Cool. That's cool. Alright, but I can't do that again. Alright, $600, Alex. Reasons. I'm not even sure what that means. Reasons. In the book of Nehemiah, how were the rest of the people chosen to live in Jerusalem once the leaders had moved there? Were they chosen to live by lineage, by wealth, by merit, by casting lots? Oh, book of Nehemiah. Ugh. I think it's by lineage. The casting lots was Abraham and... No, they just picked a side. They just said, you go that way, I'll go that way. Yeah, yeah, I don't think it is that. I think it is by lineage. Well, Nanu Nana Galax, I hope you're having a wonderful moment in time. It is by casting lots. Yeah. Yeah. By casting lots. And, you know, it's so funny because everybody says, oh, you can't be doing that. It's witchcraft. Well, look at filled with that kind of stuff. Shaking the dice. Whatever. Talking to dead people. Astrology. Everything else. Divination. Alright. $800, Alex. I don't know. Reasons for 800. Still don't know what that means. 777. That's right. That is Alex Crowley's number. He wrote a book called 777. It's so funny because the Christians always put their 777 on their name. That's Aleister Crowley's number, man. He's got a book with it right on the cover. 777. Look it up. We have them hundreds of times. Alright, question for 800 points, Alex. In the parable of the sower, who is represented by the seeds among the thorns? Those who fall away because the person as seeds among the thorns. No, I know. Right here. They get choked. Those who grow despite adversity, those who live among unbelievers. Okay, so out of this parable of the sower, which ones are the seeds that grow among the thorns? I'll tell you who they are. They end up being choked out by the cares of the world. What just happened? Oh my goodness. How did that even... I didn't even click on anything, did I? Huh. I don't know what just happened. In the parable of the sower, who is represented by the seeds among the thorns? I'm pretty sure it's those that are fruitless because of the worldly concerns. Those who fall because of persecution. We know what it is. And you know what? They're going to say we're wrong because I just saw it. That's one I would have picked. Oh, it is right. Never mind. Yeah, actually what they say, they call it thorns. They don't even have it on here. Thorns and the thistles choke it out. And that's the well, kind of weird they don't put thorns even in the thing. But yeah, it is about the thorns, yep. The thorns and the thistles choke it out because of the worldly concerns or something like that. Okay. All right, Alex, for $1,000. I don't want points, no, I want dollars. All right, $1,000. What initially angered the Jews at Jesus' healing of the man by the pool in Bethesda? Well, I know what they should have angered them, but anyway, that's another story. What initially angered the Jews at Jesus' healing of the man at the pool of Bethsaida? The man had carried his bed on the Sabbath. He had claimed equality with God. Jesus had spoken against the Pharisees. Jesus had healed on the Sabbath. The one that went in the pool of Bethsaida. But by the way, yes. Well, I think, yeah, there was one time where he said, is it easier to heal a man or to forgive him? So I don't think it's that. I personally think it's because he told the man, pick up your mat and walk. And it was on the Sabbath. Because the man that was trying to go into the pool of Bethsaida was crippled. And he had a mat. And he's the one that went in the pool. And by the way, the pool of Bethsaida is a pagan god called Asclepius, which is actually the god of healing, which is actually this snake, two snakes wrapped around a pole. That is the god Asclepius. And the god Asclepius is the god of this pool here in Bethsaida. And Asclepius used to come down and stir up the water. They didn't tell you that, did they? And look up where the pool of Bethsaida is. It's outside the temple. I think it's carry his bed, all right? But you say it's, I think it's because of this. Because the guy, that's the whole... So it's okay for gods to work on the Sabbath? Well, yeah, I just told you the other day, God breaks all the commandments. Everyone. God breaks all the commandments, and so did King David. So you're saying he claimed equality with God? I think it's he carried his bed because the guy was crippled. But let's see. Try your answer first. Claimed. All right, second one. No. And I know what story you're thinking of. It's yeah. It's he told him to carry the mat because. No, the story you're thinking of is the blind guy. And the blind guy, when Jesus healed the blind guy, they said, why, or no, maybe he was crippled or something, but he said, why are you healing on this? No, he said something about healing. And he said, go, whoever that was, Jesus said, go and sin no more. Your sins are forgiven. And the Pharisees like freaked out and they're like, you can't forgive sins. And Jesus said, is it easier to forgive sins or to heal somebody? And that is the story where they claimed equality with God. That was that story. But the story that this is talking about with the pool at Bethsaida, remember the guy sitting next to the pool at Bethsaida was crippled and he was on a mat. And every day they put him next to the pool on his mat. But he was too slow to get in there. So when Asclepius stirred up the healing pool at Bethsaida, everybody jumped in before him. And so he never got healed. And then Jesus healed the guy, and then he said, pick up, and the guy was able to walk without the pool, without the water, getting in the pool. And then he said, pick up your mat. And he did. So that's why I know this story. He had told a man to carry the mat on the Sabbath. But here's your clue here, because it was at the pool at Bethsaida, and that was the guy that was crippled all them years, and every day they put him on his mat next to the pool, and it was a pool of Asclepius. Bethsaida was it was a Greek god. They don't tell you that in this story, do they? All right, we're going to go on to a new category. I'm doing my laundry, so I may have to run and change my dryer. I had to run in there. Old Testament, books of the Bible, letters, quotes, objects. What objects? What the heck objects? I'm going to do $200 for objects. I'm not sure what that means. Which of the following did the wise men not give to Jesus? Silver, gold, myrrh, frankincense. I don't think he gave him any silver. I don't think there was any silver. You know what they're paying on scrap silver right now, you guys? Because I'm into precious metals. I'm into gold and silver. Right now, you guys. They're paying like 50 cents a gram on 925 silver. Sterling pure silver. Alright, hold on. I gotta... give me 2 minutes. Alright, sorry about that. Alright. Yeah, silver. There you go. Yeah, that's if you go to a gold and silver dealer. And like the price of gold is like $35 a gram maybe right now. But the gold place will only give you like $29 a gram. That's 14 karat. Or that goes much higher if you have like 28, 24 karat. Do I want objects? Yeah, we're going to keep going on objects. For $400. Alright. What did Moses do with the law. Once he had written it all down. He buried it in the base of a mountain. He left it in the tabernacle. He passed it down to Joshua. He gave them to the Levites to carry in the ark. What did Moses do with the law once he had written it all down? What do they mean by law? Because the tablets, the stone tablets, was the original law. I think he gave it to the Levites to carry in the ark. I don't know. The Ten Commandments were in the ark. I don't know. I think it's a trick question. Oh, maybe it's not, I guess. I think they're talking about the Ten Commandments. That's original law. Yeah, the Levites carried in the ark. And where's it today? Who knows? What? It's funny because other people couldn't even lay their hand on it without dying. But somehow it's gone absconded somewhere. The Ten Commandments, yeah. They seem to have gone missing. All right, well, we'll do objects for 600. Kind of hard. What was done to Solomon to crown him king of Israel and Judah? What was done to him? They poured olive oil on him and blew a trumpet. That sounds a little weird. They killed a fatted calf and celebrated. The priests prayed over him. David called the people together and announced it. I think it was all of it. I don't know. I mean, normally they kill the fatted calf for a celebration. But it says what was done to Solomon, to him. Well, I don't know if they're not really. I don't know if they're really questioning, writing this question right. What was done to Solomon? Well, there's only two things that have done to him up here. David calling the people together and announcing it is not done to him. Killing a fatted calf and celebrating was not done to him. Priests prayed over him. They poured olive oil on him and blew a trumpet. That sounds so weird. If this is the answer, I don't remember that. I'd say a priest prayed over him. I don't know. They poured olive oil. You gotta be kidding me. Oh man. How do I not remember that? They poured olive oil on him and blew a trumpet. I can see the trumpet part, but they well, that was anointing oil. That was anointing oil back then. It probably still is. Olive oil is what the anointing oil is made out of. All right. I love olive oil. I use it every day. If I don't cook with it, I oil my cast iron pans with it. It's awesome. All right. Healthiest stew for you. All right. My mouse doesn't want to work. It's just doing whatever it wants. No, why? Alright, there you go. Alright, Alex. $800 for that question. Objects. Is that what it is? Objects. That's a weird category. Jude reminds his readers of what Old Testament story? Alright, well, Jude, he actually reminds everybody of Sodom and Gomorrah. That's right. But that's not up here. It reminds about the flood, Daniel in the lion's den, Exodus, Egypt, David and Goliath. Jude, I think he reminds everybody of the flood. But he does remind everybody of Sodom and Gomorrah too. But, what was it? The Exodus, yeah. They're always reminding them of that. The Exodus. Oh, man. They bring that up through the whole Bible. And who brought you out of Egypt with that outstretched hand? I did. That's right, Exodus of Egypt. And also Sodom and Gomorrah. We're in a hard one here. $1,000 object question. Object. This is objects. In 1 Corinthians, Paul states that when he arrives, he will give them further instructions concerning what? The Lord's Supper, how to conduct a church service, spiritual gifts, or baptism. Paul states when he arrives, he'll give them further instructions. Actually, I think it's how to conduct a church service because, you know, Paul says that there's three, I think it's where Paul says, explains that there's three parts to a church service. There's the sermon, there's the worship, and music, I can't remember. I can't remember, but it might be this. If it's not how to conduct a service, it's probably spiritual gifts. Someone wants me to say spiritual gifts, but I don't remember which book. If it's 1 Corinthians, I think it was how to conduct a church service, the three parts to a church service. No, it was the Lord's Supper. When I get there, hey you guys, I'm coming. And when I get there, I will instruct you about the Lord's Supper. Which is funny because none of them are eating clean, you know. And none of them are observing Passover. So why even bother? That's so weird. How many, all right, hands, Christians out there. How many of you Christians celebrate Passover in the Last Supper? Anyway, all right, what do we got here? One more category. Where are we at? 37 minutes. All right, we're gonna afford one more category. We'll squeeze one more out. Letters. I like that. Books of the Bible. Quotes. I don't know if I like any of them. Old Testament. Genesis to Ruth. Why not? Let's go OG or OT. $200 points. Why did Lot's wife become a pillar of salt? She committed adultery, probably by the behavior of them daughters. I don't know, you'd have to question it. Anyway, she looked back at Sodom. She left at God, or she stole something. Ooh. Actually, all she did is turn back and looked at Sodom, and that was it. That was not. You don't even have to do adultery. Nope, just turn it back and turn your head, look at the explosions, and you're done. Yes, ding, 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 she did. She looked back at Sodom and became a pillar of salt. And no, that's not her sitting on the cliff. That thing is 50 feet tall, and it's just a corrosion pile of corroded salt crystals that have... You ever see salt crystals build up next to something salty? That's what it is. How old was Abraham when Isaac was born? Huh. Well, this is pretty easy. Well, wait a minute. He was promised the kid when he was 100. But then he had the other kid first. And this, you know why it's hard for me? Because there's two versions of this story. And in one version, it's called a doublet. And in one version, there's a lot of doublets with the Abraham and Sarah. Almost every one of their stories has two stories. It's a doublet. And in one of the stories, Abraham and Isaac were 100 years old. Well, she was a little less, but Abraham was 100 years old when God promised that he would have a son. And then in one of the stories, both the stories, they ended up Hagar pregnant and having that Ishmael first. And then in one of the stories, the kid is like a teenager when Isaac is born. So that would be another 10, 12 years. So now he'd be 112 years old when Isaac is born. You know what I'm saying? But in the second story, because when he threw Hagar and Ishmael out to die in the desert, there's two stories of that. There's two stories. One of the stories is that the kid was a teenager. He was like 12 or something when they got out. And the other story is the kid baby, he was a baby and she threw him under a bush. And so if you're going by one story, he would still be about 100 years old. Go by the other story, he would be about 112. So anyway, I'm going to go by 100. But I'm going to call technicality a foul on this one. Even though I am correct, if you go by the story, he would have been 112 when Isaac was born. But you see how they always pick one or the other? Anyway. Old Testament for $600. Genesis to Ruth. All right. Which judge cut down his father's altar to Baal? Which judge? Was it Barak, Shamgar, Gideon, or Samson? I think it was Gideon, but I'm not sure. To Baal. Yeah, it was Gideon. It sure as heck wasn't Samson. He was the one building altars to Baal for his many, many thousand wives. So it certainly wasn't Samson. And Barak and Shamgar, I don't know. Anyways, that was kind of easy. That was Gideon. Yeah, it certainly wasn't. It certainly wasn't Samson. And again, he gets a pass. You know what I mean? Anybody else just glances at another god and they get struck dead. But Samson, yeah, he can be king of the land, king of Israel, on the throne, and have 1,000 altars for his wives to Baal and everybody else, and gets a pass. So did his daddy. Anyway, so did his brother. All right, man, this takes a long time. Noah took this number of 8. Oh, see, here we go again. Here we go again with the doublets. There's two versions of this story. Here, the question is, Noah took this number of each type of clean animal in the ark. There's two versions. Again, that is a doublet. There are two versions of Noah's ark, loading up Noah's ark. In one version, and again, it's going to be the northern kingdom, you know, the 10 northern tribes have one story, and the two southern tribes are going to have another story. And obviously one of them didn't have clean animals. So one of the stories, Noah loads them all on 2 by 2. That's one everybody knows. But in the second story that they tell, Noah actually gets 7 of the clean animals, and the unclean animals were still 2 by 2. Because the unclean animals are not going to have to eat them. Because if they put 2 unclean animals, if they put 2 clean animals on the ark and 2 clean chickens, and you want chicken for dinner, there's never going to be a chicken again. So he loaded up, which makes more sense. The animals that were approved for food in the second story got loaded up 7 by 7. And the unclean still got 2 by 2 because they're going to just mate and have more, but you might want to eat some of these. So we're going to say 7. Ding, ding, ding. I'm surprised that's an 800-point question. Anyway, that was pretty easy. But again, I could argue. And I have tried to report this because we found outright errors in this game. And you have to fill out all your information, personal stuff, if you want to correct them, and I don't want to do that. All right, for $1,000 or points, however you want to look at it. Alex, Old Testament, Genesis to Ruth. What proportion of their crops did Joseph tell the Egyptians to give Pharaoh? A tenth, a fifth, a third, a half. What portion of their crops did Joseph tell the Egyptians to give? I don't know, a tenth? I don't know. A fifth. Ooh, he went lower. That's good. It wasn't quite a tithe. It was a half a tithe. A half a tenth. It was a fifth. Well, they were getting rich off that whole thing anyway. Yeah, they got rich. But hey, that, you know, when you think ahead and you know, if you would have been a store that had all that extra toilet paper, you could have jacked up, made money. All right, do I want, is that it for the night, or do I want to do one more? Let me see. Books of the Bible. Books of the Bible. No. I don't know. I'm at 40. Yeah, I could probably whip out one more. I don't like the multiple choice. I just don't. Because it's kind of tricky. Alright, Books of the Bible. See, and I don't like the letters from Paul, because to me they're all the same. Letters to the churches, you know what I'm saying? What language was most of the Old Testament written in? Persian, Greek, Syriac, or Hebrew? Ding, 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 ding. I'm going to go ahead and say Hebrew. And take forever. Take a forever. Yes, ding, ding, ding. It is correct. It's written in Hebrew. That's right. And that's why all the Jewish people are taught English and Hebrew when they're little, so nobody tricks them. But what the Bible says. And for $400, Books of the Bible. Alright, the fan's getting to be a little much now. In what book of the Bible can we find the parable of the fox and the grapes? What book of the Bible, the fox and the grape? Proverbs, Song of Solomon, Ezekiel, I've not heard of the fox and the grapes. Anybody heard of the fox and the grapes? I'll be honest. I've not heard of it. I could be wrong, but I think I would remember fox and grapes. Ding 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 is Christ, not in the Bible. I was gonna say that's a trick question. Is I'd remember fox and grapes. You know what I mean? I love grapes. I like foxes too. I live off of Fox Road, as a matter of fact. That's right. All right, what else we got? And I love grapes. Where are we at here? Oh, here. Books of the Bible for 600, Alex. All right. Man, this thing. I shut some of these things. Maybe it'll go faster. This thing's just really taking a long time. Spinning, spinning, spinning. It's like I got dial up here. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. There's a tower within like 10 miles from here, at least. What just happened? Am I getting... I don't think I hit the right category, but anyway. What book comes out next after Jeremiah? Isaiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, or Daniel? Oh man, I'm not good at this. Although Jeremiah did write Lamentations, do you think it would be right next to each other? I don't know. It's probably Daniel. I don't know. They're all written... Yeah, it was. All right. Correct. Ding, ding, ding. if anybody doesn't know, uh, Jeremiah was called the weeping prophet. He's crying. And so the weeping prophet also wrote Lamentations, which also means to cry, like weeping. Yeah, so anyway. Yes. I wasn't sure if they put Jeremiah and Lamentations right next to each other. I guess I know. All right, $800. Alex, books of the Bible for $800. And he's just jumping all over the place. All right, what book opens with the words, "The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem"? This would be Song of Solomon. Proverbs, Psalms, Ecclesiastes. Well, this description is Solomon. Solomon is the preacher. He's the son of David, and he's the king of Jerusalem. So it is Solomon. It's either Solomon, it's either this one or the other book he wrote. Ecclesiastes? Yeah, it's Ecclesiastes. It's his other book. He authored more than one book. The other book Solomon wrote was Ecclesiastes, so that's what they're talking about. They're talking about Solomon, both Solomon and Ecclesiastes. So, yeah. So Solomon wrote both. But yeah, this is Solomon. He was considered a preacher, a son of David, and the king of Jerusalem. So it's either going to be Song of Solomon, Ecclesiastes. Some pronounce it Ecalexics. For $1,000. Last question of the night. That's right. All or nothing. Billion to nothing. What book closes with the words, "Thou wilt perform the truth to Jacob, and the mercy to Abraham, which thou hast sworn unto our fathers from the days of old"? I have no idea. Thou wilt perform truth to Jacob. Who's going to and mercy to Abraham? I don't know. Obadiah is only 1 page long, and I don't even think it has anything like that. Micah? I think it's Ezra. Could be Josh. I don't know. I'm going to say Ezra, but I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it is Micah. Of course. My brain said Micah, but then my other brain said, "Shut up, it's not Micah. It's Ezra." And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to pick Ezra. And it's like, no, it was Micah. Ding, ding, ding. There you go. Micah 7:20. Score is $10,400. Bam! That's some good ching-ching, man. But when there's points, it really doesn't really go too far. Second one. Well, thank you guys for playing. What did you win, Tribulation Safe? Well, you gotta play in order to win. You know what they say, you have to be in it to win it. So if you didn't guess anything, you really didn't win anything. But Galax does go home with a prize tonight for playing. Galax will be flown around the world on a vacation for 2 to the Bahamas, and all expenses paid, and anywhere else you want to fly on the way back. It's on us. Now, you're a winner? Are you a winner? Winner, chicken dinner? You know what I was reminded of the other day? Because somebody on YouTube was just getting wrecked. He was getting busted out for lying. And anyway, they kept saying, I'm winning. No, this person was getting wrecked. And I think they actually got their channel taken down. Anyway, but while he's fighting with these people, he kept saying, I'm winning. Nah, that's like Charles. Remember, What's his name? Charlie. Um. The one that was on Two and a Half Men. What was his name? Charlie. Sheen. I remember when Charlie Sheen was losing his job, and he was losing his mind, and his hair was all greasy, and he'd been up for weeks, and he was on cocaine, and he came on an interview, and he had a cigarette, 2 cigarettes that were lit, and one was in each nostril, and he kept saying, "I'm winning, I'm winning." That's what it reminds me of. Oh man. Here. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, and then he had AIDS, and then he said he had tiger blood. Remember that? And he kept saying winning. And then like the women, he lost his kids, and then he and then he he got AIDS and all that other stuff. Oh, that was 2011. Man, dang, that was a long time ago. 2011. That was 13 years ago. He's not. He's winning. Anyway. See, because of this, I would not even say, I wouldn't even use the thing winning. Here he had this. Does it look like he's winning? And then he said he had tiger blood. I hope he got better. Nobody's heard from him for a while. I hope he's okay. I'm not bipolar. I'm by winning. That was my favorite right there. And they were lit, you guys. You can even see them. They're lit. But yeah, he got fired and everything. Oh man. Anyway, winning. Let me see here. We all win with Jesus, do ya? Winning. Anyway. Well, that was fun. Maybe Minister Paul will get snowed in. Oh, I forgot about him. Have you seen him lately? He was gone for a little bit, and he came back, and his hair was white as snow. It looked like he went in a time machine or something. Winter has him out, yeah. That will give the big crybabies something to complain about. Yeah. Here's something. I think he came back. He was gone. People were saying he was in a FEMA camp, him and his wife and stuff. Remember that? And he came back. He said no, he just needed some time off. But then he didn't look good. His hair got all white and he just didn't look healthy. And then it seemed like, I don't watch his channel, but I think he was just playing somebody else's sermon or something. I don't know. Anyway, I wish him the best. Not my cup of tea. Of course. Yeah. But yeah, is he in northern California? That's what's getting the snow, you guys. 3 to 5 inches snow. While we are wearing shorts in Minnesota in February and March. Cray. Anyway, well, that'll work. I'll wrap it up. Say goodnight. Sayonara and all that good stuff. I gotta finish my chores. My laundry. My cat laid on a big pile of warm clothes and I just didn't have the heart to pull her off a bit. So anyway, getting the boot now, so I will say goodnight, and hope to see you tomorrow night. Have a good rest of the evening. You could drink a tea. Yeah. Yep, I never really drank tea. I drank tea one time, and it had so much caffeine in it. Yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. I just made that up. It wasn't my cup of tea. Yeah, not a fan of that. Can't do the caffeine. Well, good night to you too, Galax. Good night to Galax. Good night to Trib Safe. Good night to John Dane and anybody else that came in or stopped in or whatever. If you're listening on the replay, thanks for listening on the replay. If you gave me a thumbs up, thanks for the thumbs up. I don't know, have a good rest of the day or whatever you're doing. Whatever you're doing, make it a good one. Make it the best day ever. And I hope to see you tomorrow night. God bless you all. Peace, harmony, rock and roll. Sayonara.